We're 99% municipal, so it is wastewater, home wastewater sludge pressing. So yes, we squeeze the poop. Have you ever seen what the Space Shuttle used to sit on and walk real slow all the way out to the pad?
Yep.
That track system down the bottom, we actually make those trunnions that run those tracks.
Wow.
Welcome to Manufacturing Runs the World, the podcast that breaks down the industry you never think about but can't live without.
Hey, Justin.
Hey, Chris, how's it going?
Excellent.
Thanks for taking the time today. I really appreciate it.
Yep, not a problem.
What is the most amazing product that Charter Machine helps develop?
We're 99% municipal, so it is wastewater, home wastewater sludge pressing. So yes, we squeeze the poop. Charter Machine, again, is based in Metuchen, New Jersey. It's a 100,000 square foot manufacturing plant. Has been in existence for a long time. The plant itself goes way back. There's an old Conrail line that runs behind it. It used to be pulp and paper back in 1930s and 40s and that kind of thing. And so it's a whole city block long, multiple buildings all tied together. It got then moved into more manufacturing of steel and did a lot of job shop work. And that was the really Graphic Equipment Corp is the parent owner of Charter Machine Company. They kind of bought
a printing company, correct?
Yeah, and the Kuhnrich family is Walter's my boss. He's the vice president. His brother Ken is the vice president of manufacturing, and his father Carl, still at the age of I think he's 83 or 84 now, is still out there cutting metal and playing with lathes and everything else, and just having fun with it. But he started the Graphic Equipment Corp back in the 50s, multiple patents, very bright individual from Germany came over with his wife, and they got established in that printing industry for rewinders. After a printing press would be printing paper, the back side of it has to catch that paper and wind it back up. And it's very delicate. It's got to be accurate. It's got to be true, and it's got to be high speed. And that's where cutting metal down to a thousandth of an inch and making sure the roller is completely balanced and true is extremely important. Fast forward into the early 2000s. Again, Charter was doing machine shop work, doing a lot of stuff for Pfizer, Dow, Merck, Philip Morris, building equipment for them. We still make some canning equipment and some big machinery stuff. So anytime you walk through the factory, you'll see neat things like trunnion. Have you ever seen what the Space Shuttle used to sit on and walk real slow all the way out to the pad?
Yep.
That track system down the bottom, we actually make those trunnions that run those tracks.
Wow.
For a company that assembles everything, but we cut all that metal and make sure it's all lined up properly. A lot of neat projects that go through the factory. But at that time, Charter was started making rollers for a company called Roediger. Roediger was out of Pittsburgh, and another German company started back in 1968. They came over and got into the water and wastewater industry in the United States, established an office, and started selling belt filter presses into that industry into the 70s and 80s. In 2000, I think it's 2003 or 4, Hurricane Ivan came in, went up to Pittsburgh, and of course the factory was on one of those little streams.
Yeah.
That turned into a river. And the river wiped out the factory. So lo and behold, Charter was already building rollers and frame components for Roediger. And so they called and said, hey, Charter, can you make the whole machine? Because we have no factory. It's gone. 4 feet of mud. Every motor's destroyed. Stuff washed away. Like, we have nothing. We need help. So Charter said, yeah, just send us the drawings. And they got truckloads upon truckloads of muddy equipment being delivered to Charter Machine, where they had to power wash in the parking lot all the stainless steel and frames and things that they had laying around that didn't wash away. Lo and behold, 2 years later, after doing that, making all the machines, Roediger got some insurance money, and then they decided that they weren't going to continue in the industry anymore. And of course, Charter was owed a lot of money for making all their machines and filling the pipeline. And so they kind of sat down and said, all right, we're just going to buy you. And so Charter bought Roediger. And unfortunately, we're not allowed to keep the name because that was Roediger Passavant out of Germany. They actually owned the trademark to the name. So we are Charter Machine Company utilizing Roediger technology. But all the employees for Roediger came to work for us. We have all the intellectual property. We have all the patents. We have all the drawings. We have everything, spare parts and so forth. And it just fit with the manufacturing that Charter was already doing. Big process equipment.
So Hurricane Ivan basically changed the shape of the entire company.
Yes.
Wow.
So, and then just reestablished it, just added it to the New Jersey factory and said, all right, they closed the Pittsburgh one down and said, that's it. And took over from there. So yeah, it's been over 20 years in municipal dewatering. And we do a little industrial stuff, but mainly 99% municipal.
Yeah, I looked at your service map too, and it looks like, I mean, you guys are scattered all through the US.
Yes. Yeah, we have 100% rep coverage across all 50 states. We do some stuff in Canada and Mexico. Yeah.
Is that just you, or do you have like a small team of people that help you?
Yeah, it's small team. Yeah, I'm the director of sales, and then I have a helper out in the west there, Devery, that takes over the regional sales work out that direction.
Nice. Seems like a fun company to work for.
Oh yeah, no, if you like stinky stuff, but the fact that when you get out into the field, it is we're going into wastewater treatment plants, so it is not the prettiest of places, but it is consistent. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I'm in Milwaukee, Wisconsin here, and there's a wastewater treatment plant right on Lake Michigan, and on some heavy rain days, you get a whiff of that smell.
Jones Island. I sold all 24 of those belt filter presses in that plant.
Oh, nice. So you are a part of our waste filter system here in Milwaukee. Cool. That's so cool.
Very familiar with it.
Yeah. Small world. It's funny how everything is like 1 degree of separation away.
Yeah. We just pulled some machines up in Green Bay. We got stuff in Wausau. We got all kinds of Eau Claire. We got stuff all over Wisconsin.
Yeah, and primarily municipality. Correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think that kind of answers some of my leading questions, but I sometimes ask, what's the weirdest, most unexpected way someone uses your product? Outside of municipalities, is there any outliers of people saying, hey, would this work for this industry? Or
yeah, we've done some stuff in poultry, chicken processing waste, little beaks and eyeballs coming down the gravity section,
Yeah.
Things like that. Hemp manufacturing, because that's a lot of squeezing to get the oils out of the hemp fibers. Hog processing, again, same thing, hog waste, cow waste, some green energy stuff, trying to increase the production going into digesters that would produce more gas to generate methane, which you can then burn to turn into electricity. Some food processing stuff, thickening of green bell peppers waste. So there's all kinds of neat little things every once in a while.
You guys really touch a lot of different industries. It's pretty cool.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So then I assume that has to come with some type of operator or engineer or some type of training that comes along with that equipment.
Yeah, we still have about 40 machinists in our factory.
Now, are you experiencing the skills gap that manufacturers are dealing with?
Yes, active attrition there. They're all we've lost 25 some plus people in the last 5 years to retirement. The skills trade is just not generating them like they were. I've seen that in all the industries. Everyone goes computers, and everyone goes to college, and they're all trying to get their 4-year degrees, which he leaves a huge gap in the middle. And you have this plumbers, electricians, carpenters, machinists, welders, that you can make easily 50, 60, 70 bucks an hour when you're 18 years old. Oh no, I just want to sit behind a computer screen and punch keyboards, and then not get your fingers dirty. I started working on my first car when I was 13 years old. But that was back in the early 80s. You didn't have computers, you didn't have cell phones. It wasn't part of life. You had to learn how to turn a wrench and fix things that you had available to you. The Amazon click, it delivers tomorrow crap. I mean, oh my God, it's throwaway stuff. It breaks, you throw it away instead of trying to fix it. And I think this type of stuff is not throwaway stuff. This is 30+ year equipment. You buy one, it's $500,000 for one piece of equipment. And like I said, Milwaukee bought 24 of them. It is a huge investment in these plants, but they need something that they're going to push the button and know it's going to run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 30 years. Now, it will require some minor maintenance, greasing, belts, wearables, but the overall machine should last that long.
Yeah.
No car lasts that long running those types of hours.
Right. So what do you think is the solution to this skills gap? I think people talk on it, but I still don't have a good idea of how we go about solving this.
That is a tough one. Again, people want to take the easier route and take the cushy jobs. A lot of this stuff, COVID just messed up the whole industry. It messed up everything. So that's kind of resetting a lot of things. It's just getting to the younger crowd and letting them know that you don't have to go to college to make a great career and a great income and have a great family and have a nice house and everything else. And because, you can go to college and spend, $100,000 a year, come out with $400,000 and have a liberal arts degree. Like, what are you going to do with that?
Yep.
You go work at McDonald's for $15 an hour.
Yeah.
Like, no.
And you're paying 8% on that $400,000 worth of loan.
Right. How about learn how to cut hair or, seamstress, or to do something that, you can actually, production, make your own little company out of it,
Yeah.
So try to drive that entrepreneurship a little more. It might be the little carrot to dangle out there saying, look, guys, you learn how to weld pipe and don't be afraid to get your fingers dirty. You're starting at $150,000 a year. Starting.
Yep.
All right. So wastewater. And here's the big one, the same thing. It's no one thinks about wastewater treatment. There's the plant down the road. Everybody, you have to flush the potty. The stuff disappears. Where does it go? It goes down the pipe. It goes down a bigger pipe. It goes to the end. That's the waste plant. The waste plant has to clean everything. The bugs that are in the plant eat all the food, and then our equipment takes the bugs out. So our last step, we're pressing all the bugs to get it out to make clean water and potting soil. And then the potting soil goes right back. If you ever go to Lowe's or Home Depot and you get your Milwaukee, that's the biosolids from Milwaukee that is packaged up and sold to every Lowe's and Home Depot across the United States. That is human poop, digested human poop that you're putting in your garden, on your lawn, and it's phenomenal. It's got very steady growth rates. It's great for the soils. Tomatoes love it. So it's great for your garden. The wastewater industry, again, this is one of those things that you graduate high school, no degree, no college. You go to the waste plant. They will hire you at $25 to $35 an hour. Higher. You're starting at $50,000 a year, 18 years old. You only have to put in 25 years. So what's it make you 43 years old?
Yeah.
You can retire with a full pension at 43 years old.
Yep.
So there's big benefits to that. Like you could be like, all right, I'm golfing the rest of my life after 43 and have a guaranteed income because it's government work really because it's municipal.
Right.
So you get pensions, you get your 401k, you get all this stuff. Full health care, full benefits. If you just have a little bit of drive, you will automatically move up into management, and they will pay for your classes. They will get you your operator's license. They'll get you class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4. You want to take courses, they will pay for it for you. So you get higher and higher degrees while you're working.
Yeah.
And your pay goes up accordingly. So you can be a plant manager at your local little wastewater treatment plant in your town, making $150,000, $200,000 a year with a full pension, retired at 43 years old.
Yeah.
So,
I'd be retired by now.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to fill, but it's the education part. If we can just get education in front of the young kids and say, hey, look, there are options.
Yeah.
Grab them. They're there. If you just fill out the application, you are hired. It's just that simple.
Yeah, and I got to think that's got to be more and more attractive now as the cost of universities keep going up and the insurance rates keep going up.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I would not have been able to go to college under the current educational landscape.
No, not at all. I mean, when I started college in, was it 1986, I went to Widener University, and that was $12,000 a year. When I graduated 4 years later, it was up to like $15,000 a year. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, I went in 98, and I went to Loyola. I even had an athletic scholarship, but I had to pay 1 year. But it was a private school, so it was like $36,000 just for that 1 year. Now, Loyola is close to $60,000 a year.
Yep.
So I mean, it's ridiculous. It's almost doubled, and more than double interest rate. The skills trade looks way more attractive these days.
Yeah. Again, if I was 18, I'd be looking at mechanic, plumber, electrician of some kind. Easy.
So this is a question that I think you'll be able to answer in an interesting way. So, because you also run a winery, right? So, you manufacture product yourself. I assume you're doing that just on the side, so you've had to figure it out along the way. But
2 full-time jobs, yes.
So, say someone wants to start a shop, a manufacturing business, right? And he has $50K. What kind of advice would you give that person trying to start their own shop?
That's a tough one. Today, you really have to watch your overhead.
Mm-hmm.
You can't can't oversize anything right now because it will just kill you in mortgage payments and electricity bills and gas bills. And, it's all the intangible stuff, the insurance rates, employees. You really got to build a good business plan, figure out a good growth model that you can hopefully try and stick with, and then just not overstep.
Yeah.
Because the one thing that has come evidently clear, especially now they want your fourth child and paperwork going back 20 years, all your tax returns for everybody in your family. If you're not turning a profit, they're not going to loan you any money. It's all about cash flow and assets. Well, how do you get the cash flow and assets? I need to grow. I need more money to grow. Private investor maybe will help you out if they stay silent enough. But that is the tough situation, is balancing your cash flow so your books look good. That's the balancing act.
So what you're saying is sales solves everything.
Yeah. Well, again, sales versus overhead. That's your balance. So yeah, if you get too much overhead, then you need to really go up on sales to try and cover it. And that's the catch fall.
Perfect. All right, Chris, have a good one.
Yeah, thank you. You too. See ya.
All right.